Okay, so here with Peter Ridley, who's the Chief Executive of Moorfields. Peter, can you tell me a bit about your background and what excites you about being the Chief Executive of Moorfields?
Yeah, no, of course. So I've worked in the NHS almost all my career. So I started last century, which just gives you a sense of how long I've been in the NHS. And I started out in private practice accountancy, but did that for very little time because frankly it didn't do a lot for me. I was doing things like auditing shipping container companies, and there's not an awful lot to get your hands around. Whereas I started in the NHS and immediately loved just being part of something that felt really important. And in those early days started in hospital, Mayday in Croydon, as it was then called. And there's nothing quite like just walking through a hospital, working with people in a hospital to make you feel you're part of it. So my background really has gone from there. I've worked in hospitals all over London, the Royal Marsden, the Royal Free, now here. I've worked out in Portsmouth, worked out in Guildford, and also done a bit of time in commissioning. So my background is very much NHS, but I like being in hospitals. I like working with people who are doing real things for real patients, if I can put it that way, and who are kind of pushing the boundaries. It just kind of does it for me. I find that really interesting. And of course at Moorfields, we've got the opportunity to not only provide the best care in the country for our patients, and being that place where if no one else in the UK can help you with your eye condition, then you're going to come here, aren't you? That's just quite exciting to be part of. But also the amount of opportunity we've got here from world-leading research, the education we offer. We're just always pushing the boundaries, aren't we? And that's just nice to be involved in and part of, because it excites you every day, doesn't it?
It does, it does. So what are your priorities for the next 12 months?
So I think, well, there's quite a lot of priorities for the next 12 months. I think the one thing I've learned at Moorfields is we're never going to fail for a lack of ideas or a lack of opportunities or priorities. So one of the priorities, frankly, is playing that role of narrowing down to actually what can we achieve in 12 months. But I'd say there's the here and now, everyday NHS priorities that we're subject to. There's our major programmes, and then there's a few things I can take the organisation forward. So if I describe it in those three buckets, we've got 12 months where we're going to have to deliver our financial budget. It's really important we continue to deliver really good access for patients and continue to reduce our waiting list, that our A&E performance remains in a really good place. There's the here and now pieces around the performance that I get asked about on a regular basis from NHS England and others quite reasonably, that we need to deliver as much care for patients as possible within the financial envelope we've got. So that will be a priority for the next 12 months because it doesn't get any easier. And I think we all know with the economy we have and the pay settlements we have causing issues still in terms of industrial action, actually that's just going to be a priority for everyone in the NHS. We've then got our enormous programmes of work, haven't we? So we are opening that beautiful new hospital in less than 2 years over at St Pancras, and actually we are now moving, the next 12 months will be an awful lot of work about how we're going to operate in that hospital. So I'm really confident that we'll build that building to time. It's going really well to budget. Actually how we use that building and get every benefit we can out of working in a new environment, that's the planning of the next 12 months, and we'll involve loads of people in the organisation. We're then putting in a EPR, electronic patient record, and More Connect at the same time to update our digital systems, and they are two things you wouldn't typically do at the same time. So there's a lot of people, and a lot of people need to be involved in that because they need to design something that's going to work for them and for us for years to come. And then on the edge of it, I've just got a few things I'd like to do, so particularly programmes around how do we develop our leaders, and I mean leaders at all levels of the organisation. So how as a budget holder or a supervisor, actually how can we help develop your leadership skills so that you feel equipped to do your job, and how can we invest in really getting the best possible culture we can have in this organisation, whether that's around diversity and inclusion, where we still have a long way to go in the organisation, and whether that's around behaviours and values and making sure we're all working together in the best possible way. I guess that's probably my third bucket of how we have an organisation where everyone works together, feels safe, feels like they belong, and feels like they're really equipped to do the job to the best of their ability.
Brilliant, thank you. That's such an exciting time.
Yeah.
And what do you think the opportunities for Moorfields is in light of the NHS 10-year plan?
Oh yeah, so I think that's gone down really well here, the 10-year plan. And for those that haven't read it, it's quite a long document, isn't it? But the summary version of it is worth people looking at.
Yeah.
And everyone will have heard of the free shifts by now, I'm sure, of that move from hospital care to prevention, from the hospital itself into the community, and from analogue into digital. I think what we really like about that is that we're already well on the road on those three things as well. They really fit nicely with what we're trying to do. So we are already doing a lot of work in terms of digital, whether that is in terms of the work we do to use digital systems to help patients get to the right place first time, all the amazing work we've got going on in research around artificial intelligence and how we actually use algorithms to make sure we give patients the treatment they need at the time that they need it. I think there's an awful lot in digital we're doing. Our community model, we're already putting diagnostic centres, aren't we, as close to people as possible. We work out of 20 centres in and around London. That feels like that model is already taking a step in that direction, and we're really excited to work out what's the next logical step there to support our communities, and that is probably working in partnerships with people we maybe haven't worked quite so closely with in the past, and that sounds really exciting to get close to those communities, particularly underserved communities. And prevention is something we do. We recognise, don't we, that actually if you can get the appropriate investigations early enough, then you can not only diagnose problems with the eye in the future, but actually there's much more than that, isn't there, with the underlying conditions you can recognise from some of the investigations of the eye we carry out. So it feels like we're perfectly placed. It feels like it's something that's almost been written for an organisation like ours. I think we need to grasp the opportunity to say, look, that's the priority now, let's just go for it, and let's bring in as many partners as possible and work with as many people as can usefully help in this space, and be really open and generous about taking it forward, because I think it's deeply exciting.
Which is a nice segue into saying, how can friends of Moorfields help support you and your team, moving forward in delivering all of this?
Oh, in lots of ways. And I guess, first of all, the support we get from friends at the moment is just crucial to what we do. And I think some people will see that as you see the greeters at the front of a number of our sites, don't you? And that might be how people experience the friends, but actually welcoming people into the organisation, directing them, and that's a lot more than directing around the hospital, isn't it? It's actually supporting people who might be here actually at a point in their time, a point in their life of deep uncertainty and anxiety. And actually I know the work volunteers do to help people in those difficult situations, give some advice, spend time with people in a way that sometimes we can't in busy clinics is just really important, isn't it? As well as all the other things you do in the organisation. So I guess one, please carry on doing what you're doing at the moment, because I don't quite know how we'd replace it if we ever had to be honest. I don't think we could. For me, it's around, if we are trying to support people earlier than we do at the moment, trying to intervene with people earlier, support them, advise them, help them take more control over their conditions and the management of those, it feels like the Friends have got a role to play there. And in moving into our new building, actually there's going to be confusion, isn't there? People are going to get lost. It's going to be quite new, staff and patients. Actually, the help of Friends in getting us through, particularly that first 12 months in the new hospital, so that people actually feel as though it is an exciting new hospital. They will be cared for in the way that they've grown accustomed to at Moorfields, and they can find their way around. I think if you can help us do that when we arrive, and continue to help us in designing actually how that should work before we get there, will be really important to us.
Great, well thank you. It's been good to catch up with you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Angela.
Thank you.